Hello everyone, this is Merritt Trainboy speaking here, and as you can see, I got 3 engines, which are the new style take and play engines, and I just got these from Walmart a few days ago. Now, a lot of stuff has been told about this range being changed because the engines are now showing magnets, which are very similar to the wooden railway trains, and it's just because I just don't know why they were doing that, but probably they were changing it but you know that both take and play and wooden railway have magnets that they connect to each other. So as you can see, the trains that I've got here, we have Samson, Busy Bee James, and which I think this must be a special edition, Stanley in Space. These are my first new style dumb magnets, take and play engines, if we should call them. If they have these dumb magnets, which they don't have the very smart magnets anymore. So without any further ado, it's time to open them up from their packagings, I should say. It's time to open them up, and we'll be able to take a close look at them. So let's do that, shall we? So here they are out of their packagings, and it will take a good closer look at them right now. And I think we'll start with Samson right over here. So here's Samson, and I have to say this one looks like a brilliant model of him, and hadn't got much to say about him. Of course, he's been released since season 18 of Thomas and Friends just came out. Especially, he was also seen from that DVD, Dinos and Discoveries. There's his name underneath. Not sure if you can see the labels right there. But he runs okay on the tracks. But too bad that these buffers detailing are not highlighted with black paint. Just not sure why Mattel has decided to change these style of magnets. But of course that's Samson, alright. Next, here we have Busy Bee James. And of course, this is what James looks like from the season 10 episode, The Green Controller, where we see James, who is painted in yellow and black stripes to make him look like a bee. And oh heck, there's a little chip or a dot right here on the side of his wheel arch. Oh well, probably I'll be able to paint that over. I might be able to paint that. Surely I'll fix that. Of course there's, and also this model of James doesn't look really good than what he used to be. And you see right there, there's the cab. Look, there's a little blackness right there. And you can see right there, there's no detailing of his cab anymore. Could have sworn that it should always be there. And look at his tender. That's the same color to his body as well. But although, look at that. It now has 4 wheels. Like on the last model, there were 6. Don't know why Mattel has decided to change the setting on the tender. And so here's James. And look at that as well. His buffers are not colored black anymore. Could have sworn they should always be black. And look right there, there's a fake wheel right there. There used to be a real small wheel right there, but then it's just been replaced with this wheel, since these wheels are real. Also, there's the underneath. That's what it looks like. So, I'm just going to be bringing over a standard 2013 James, so we can have a side-by-side comparison with this model James. Even though, of course, they're not in the same colors, but there's still some differences to be spot on. First, let's just take a look at the 2013 version. You can see that this looks really excellent and something that we've all grown to love. You can see that dome right there. It is made out of plastic, and there's also a detailing of his whistle. And looking in the back, that's the detailing of his cab, and it's completely hollow. And you can see right there, there's the front wheel, and that's a real one. And has these old style magnets that can work both ways. Also, his tender looks really good, except there's no area where you could try and drill in to take this tender apart, so that would be difficult since there's no area at the bottom. Something else I also grown to love. Now we'll take a look at this other James model. And right there, which I've already spoken about, that wheel's fake, since they have replaced it with the real one, and just left with these real driving wheels. So to me, this kind of makes him look like a 060 engine, tender engine. So that looks really silly. And look at that. And as you can see on the back, his cab is not hollow anymore. And it's just been filled in. And there's a piece of black to give him the dark inside. And there's no detailing of his whistle anymore. And you can see right there. But the dome has just been squashed down, making him look funnier. So you can see right there. But although his funnel looks like it's in the same height, and although his cab looks a bit squashed down, and also his tender doesn't look good at what it used to. Looks a bit shorter to me. Here's proof if you don't believe me. And this one does have a area where you could drill out if you are taking it apart. So right there, that's the differences between those two Jameses. Because of this one, and I also forgot, there's that wooden railway magnet on the new style, and here's the old style magnet. And I will just talk about that later in this video. Now here's the last one, which I'm showing you now, and this one is Stanley in space. And of course, this is another model of Stanley which has been changed, and as you can see, that Stanley is wearing a space helmet. That's why this engine is called a Stanley in space. And this model was based off a popular, I should say, YouTube video where we see a wooden railway model of Stanley being sent into space. Totally unbelievable, isn't it? And I think that's why Fisher-Price and Mattel had decided to create this model of it, and that's why I'm guessing that this is a special edition and to it. And also, the space helmet is removable and it comes off, so we'll be able to take a good look at the full version of the ordinary Stanley. Of course, just like I said about these new styles of take-and-play engines, which have the magnets right here, they do not look good than what they used to. There's the underneath. And also, let me just bring in a previous take-and-play Stanley so we can take a good differences between the two, just like we did with the James model. First, we'll just take a look at the 2013 version first. And you can see right there through the cab window, it's completely hollow. And you could tell that there's a hole right there. There's coal in the back, and there's some at the front. There's also a detailing for his whistle as well. And sorry about that. You can see right there his buffers are silver, and you can see the face looks pretty excellent, just like when he first appeared in the movie The Great Discovery of Thomas and Friends. Same thing on the other side. And this detailing I like, except for this part where this part is keeping the body onto the footplate. This square. There's the areas. And now we'll take a look at this new version of the take-and-play Stanley. So far what I can see is that the cap's not hollow anymore, and you can see there's no hole right there. It's just a black part to give you the dark cab, just like they've been doing on the wooden railway engines. And also the front right here has been changed, the funnel, and you can see right there he now has a CGI style face. But very disappointingly, his buffers aren't highlighted with paint anymore, just like the James model that we just saw. And also his foot plate, his buffer beam, now looks just like Stanley, the real Stanleys from the TV show. And although, just look at that. His coal bunker has been raised up to the top of his cab, and there's no detailing for his whistle. And look at that. And he doesn't have a red stripe on the back of him anymore. Could have sworn there should always be. And of course, that's what like I said, that's what the underneath looks like. So just come on. So that's the question. Why did Mattel do this to us? I don't know. But that's the full comparison with these two models, the 2013 Stanley and the 2015 Stanley. and this one, it just came with this space helmet, and that's Stanley in space. That was based on that YouTube video, Stanley being in space. So, to give you the idea how dumb these magnets are, here's the old classic Stanley, and as you can see, they just work both ways. So that's not a problem with the old style. But if I bring you to the James model, which we already saw, which is Busy Bee James, that's okay on this side, but on the other side, it just slightly moves back. And you can see right there, when you're trying to couple them, they're just laying onto the side. So, boy, what a nightmare. That would be, hey, you're having a hard time pulling these engines along. I even tried the same thing on Samson, still okay on the back of Samson, but on the front, no joy. So I suppose everyone's gonna miss having these style of magnets being attached on both ways on these old styles, if you know what I mean, because these new ones are just useless. So there you have it. There are my first 3 new style take and play engines which have these style of magnets: Samson, Busy Bee James, and Stanley in space. But although I know that these magnets have been released on some of the engines which were released late last year, if you have seen them. But of course, just like I said, these magnets don't work good than what they used to, just like these trains. But yeah, but it's so probably they'll get time to getting used to for some people if they'll be using the old style trains in their videos. So, and that's them probably, I suppose. And I also felt like getting some others which were probably Thomas, because I just want to check out Thomas myself and compare with the other Thomas, as which I have, and see some other differences so I can try it out for myself, just like I did with the rest of these. So that's all for now, and not much to say anything else about this range which has been changed. So that's all I could say right now. So until next time, everyone, This is Merritt Train Boy signing off.